What's going on, everybody? I'm Alex Hunter. This is HP Builds, and welcome back to the channel. Now, at the end of last video when we were racing, I told you guys that we did something that involved the 2-car trailer and the single car trailer. And Dad's Merkurs behind me, so that should be a huge hint. So as you guys know, this thing is a 2-owner, now that we own it, Merkur XR4TI. And about 2 weeks ago, I was scrolling through Facebook and I actually found somebody that had 6 of these cars. Every last one of them, if they weren't sold, was going to the scrapyard. Well, I couldn't let that happen. Me and Dad got in the trucks and we went and picked up 3 more. But I will say this, they are not as nice as this one. Check these things out. Now, if you guys couldn't tell, these cars are a lot different than Dad's in the back. Dad's is 100% ready to roll. It goes to car shows, he races it. There's nothing wrong with that car. These, a little bit different. They're a lot rougher, but here is something that's pretty cool about all 3 of these cars. Everything bumper to bumper we have. So the bezels around the headlights, we have all 3 for the cars. They're inside. The only thing, this blue one is missing 2 front wheels. But other than that, we have everything for these cars. The red one and the blue one, the heads are removed, but we have the heads. This one, it's complete bumper to bumper. So I don't know what we're necessarily gonna do with these things. We haven't quite decided yet, but this one and the blue one, we already have titles for those cars. This one, we have to apply for one. Shouldn't be too hard, but by the end of it, we'll have 3 Merkurs that have 3 titles. So our options are we sell them and let them go to somebody that can fully restore them, because all 3 of them are rust-free cars, or we take an engine, we take a transmission, we take a diff out for Dad. That way he can build one and have it as a backup plan. Or for the motor, for instance, he can put a Volvo head and beef up an engine on a stand and then drop it in his car. Or we part them out to help the ones that are survived stay surviving. Don't really know yet. Today's mission is pretty simple though. Wash them. So we have a ton of stuff in all of these cars that we have to go through. I'm sure you saw inside this red one, there is a ton of stuff all the way up to the ceiling of these things. Nothing but parts. So we need to get everything out of these cars, give them a good washing, see what exactly we have, because pretty much from the time we picked them up and the time they're here right now, we've done nothing more than unload them. So we're gonna give these things a once over today, and who knows, we may fall in love with them by the end of the day. But I'm gonna quit talking and we're gonna get to washing. Let's do it. All right, well, we've got them all cleaned up. We've got everything outside of these cars, and if you can't tell, that is a ton of stuff for these cars. So the red one that had a ton of stuff in it all the way up to the roof, right, it had interior pieces for a tan interior, it had black interior, old turbos, old intake manifolds, alternators, plastics, 2 radiators, ton of gray plastics, which is weird because the interior on this car is all there. Now, we just washed the outsides today. We're gonna come back tomorrow and we're gonna wash and vacuum and clean all of the interiors. But the cars, they washed up really good. We did find out this. So we knew that this car had a cracked windshield. And in all the algae that was on this car, we didn't even realize that it had a crack in it. So we're down 2 windshields, but that's all right. But other than that, I mean, Dad put the front bezel in this one. It's a complete car, bumper to bumper. It's not missing anything. This one, not missing anything. This one, not missing anything. But we're gonna call the video right now a pause until tomorrow when we come back and we vacuum and clean out all the insides of these things, and then really see what shape all the plastics and things like that are. Because you take a car like this, the radio and everything is still here. Whereas the red car, the gauge cluster is out of it and is actually laying over here in the grass. So we're gonna pause for the night. I'll check back in with you guys in the morning when we come back and give these things an interior deep cleanse. All right, guys, so we are back for day number 2 of cleaning these cars up. And today we are going to be working in 2 places, inside and in the engine bay. So I went out and got a brand new shop vac because my little 1 gallon was not gonna cut it for this job. So we're gonna start with the engine bays, because if you look at this guy, yeah, it needs some love. Whereas the silver one is a whole lot cleaner. But I'm gonna go ahead, touch the cowling and everything, give it a good once over, clean up all 3 engine bays, and then I'm going to start on the insides, because these things have been neglected for years. So this one, for instance, I don't know what in the world happened here. This car was sealed up, and yet it looks like a squirrel or something made a home out of it. So I'm gonna quit talking. I'm gonna get this vacuum on, and we're gonna see how far we can get before the sun goes down. I think we can make this happen. There's a lot of car, but at the same time, we got a brand new shop vac. So let's do it. All 3 engines came out really clean. I will say this one and the blue one, missing the cylinder heads, really sucks, because the cylinder walls on both those engines, they're okay, but let's face it, the entire engine has to be all disassembled. It has to be bored over and then put back together if you want to keep that engine. But now that that's done, we're gonna move on to the insides. I'm gonna hit this red one real quick. Shouldn't take me but 5-10 minutes, and then I'm gonna move on to the silver one. And this one's kind of fun because I have to go in through the back hatch because we have no door handles. So let's knock this car out and then let's move that way. All right, guys, so here's the deal. I'm running out of daylight. It's about to get dark here pretty quick. By the time I put everything up, I probably won't even be able to see in front of my face. But all 3 cars came relatively clean. I mean, we're dealing with very old cars that have been severely neglected. So I wasn't hoping for these things to look brand new by cleaning them. All I was really hoping for was to really kind of see what we're dealing with. So here's what we got. So the silver car, of course, the seats are in very rough shape, but mechanically everything works on them. Dash, everything like that is good. We got one crack in the actual dash itself, but clusters and switches and everything, they're all there. Same thing on the blue car. So the blue car, it's wavy, but there's no cracks, but everything is there. And again, seats mechanically work. They're just in really rough shape. We've got the back hatch covers. Like I said, the wing is actually right there for this car. But even the red one, I mean, they all came relatively clean for what they are. To be severely neglected, they came relatively clean. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm 2 days into this endeavor and I still have no idea what I'm doing with these cars. And what I mean by that is I don't know if the option is to sell the ones I have a title for, the blue one and the red one. I don't know if the option is to make an absolute race car out of the red one because it would match Dad's. I don't know if the option is to take this car and make it a race car. I don't know if the option is not to sell all three to people that really want to restore them, because the fact is they all three could be restored. I'm still going to try to get a title for this car before I post anything as far as parting them out or selling them or what I'm doing. But I do know this: they are in a lot better shape than if I didn't go pick them up, because like I said, they were supposed to end up in a scrapyard. So I am not upset with the shape these cars are in. I'm just glad they're here in my yard and not crushed. Now I'm gonna call it a video right here. I'm gonna quit working on these cars. I've got everything pulled out of them in totes in the garage. So I know everything that we have for these cars. And for the next couple days, I'm gonna try to get a title on this one. And then, I don't know, maybe come up with an idea on what I'm doing with these things. But for now, they're gonna sit here. So I will catch you guys in the next video when we do something, whether it's with these cars, whether it's with Fred who needs a new engine, or if it's racing. So we will catch you guys in the next video, but this is gonna do it for saving 3 Merkurs from going to the scrapyard. We'll catch you guys in the next one.